exactly what happens when you don't read the questions in advance. Hi guys, it's Leanne, and today I am here to deliver. Specifically, the thing that I'm going to be delivering is the Honest Booktuber tag, which was created by the lovely Harriet Rosie from Harriet Rosie Reads. If you like my mystery and thriller tastes, you're gonna like Harriet and you should go check her out. Girl knows what's what. I haven't been tagged in this one, and I think that's mostly because people have given up tagging me in any kind of tags about Booktube. I don't do very many tags at all, but specifically I don't do tags that are kind of meta discussions about the Booktube community, because it's kind of just not my thing. My entire philosophy is read books, glee about books, make friends, don't be a dick. But I spotted this tag floating about and I was intrigued, so I've listened to the first two questions and I decided to cut myself off after that and to just answer them. Off the cuff, candidly give you my opinion, which is a thing that I think is semi-on brand for me. So here we go. I have no tea. I have no beverage of any kind. I feel naked, but I'm not because it's Scotland. Jumper. So the first question is, have you ever lied about reading a book? And my answer to this is, of course I have. Any reader who reads more than just like one book every 6 months has at some point in their reading life lied about reading books. However, do I lie on my channel about reading books to you guys? No. I lied in university on the freaking daily, because ain't no literature student ever gone to university and managed to keep up with all of the reading. Unless you're a robot, in which case be my friend and give me the answers. I guess I just don't feel the need to lie on my channel because I read what I want here. Nobody forces me to read anything outside of my comfort zone. And sure, I have been snookered like many other people into buying some books because of the hype and because everybody's reading them. But I don't lie about them. I just say, yeah, I bought it. It's on my shelf. I'm excited. I have no idea when I'm going to get to it because that's how I roll. The second question is, have you ever avoided a book because of controversy about the content or the author? And absolutely I have. However, I also think that this is an incredibly personal and subjective topic. For example, I bought a shed load of Brandon Sanderson books a few years ago when everybody was really into his stuff and I was really excited to try it, and then when I did try it I was like, it's not really for me. I don't really like his writing, and I tried 4 or 5 books in various different standalones and like different areas of his world, and I didn't like any of them. I went looking for a reason to continue to push myself through his books and to like him more, and without any effort on my part I discovered that he basically doesn't include any LGBTQIA++ characters in his books because it's a lifestyle he doesn't agree with. He is Christian and he has a very, very sort of right-wing Christian stance. And so I decided not to support him anymore. I unhauled all of his books and I won't buy any more of them, and I won't talk about him in a positive way on my channel. On the other hand, I own several books by authors where I have really, really enjoyed the book, and then I have later on discovered that the author is intensely problematic. Does that make me like the book less? No. Does it make me less likely to pick up their future books? Yeah, probably. Do I think that you can separate the art from the artist? Sometimes. But I do think that it's an individual basis judgment, that you have to look at all of the factors and make a decision for yourself. I've never been about being pressured one way or another to pick up a book. Your channel is your comfy place. People come to it for your opinions. You do whatever you want. Just, I guess, do it with an open mind. Question 3 is, have you ever been sent a book for free and not disclosed it? And no. Like any other booktuber out there who's been around for a little while, I have received books solicited from publishers. I have requested books from publishers if I see something in a catalogue and I'm like, I need to have that in my life right now. I cannot exist without this book. I don't know why the obsessive book lover in my soul is apparently Italian, but let's just move on. That's the question not for this tag. But when I haul that book, I will always tell you guys I got it from a publisher or a book swap or a present from another booktuber or whatever. I will always tell you where I got that book. I don't know if I then subsequently always mention it in my wrap up or in my review for that particular book. I would have to check. Let me know how you guys feel about that. If that's something that's really important to you, me making sure that I mention it in both the haul and the review, then let me know and I will absolutely adopt that if I haven't been. When it comes to watching channels myself, I'm less bothered about transparency, I guess. I mean, the booktubers that I follow, the types of channels that I follow, I can mostly always assume that that is that person's honest point of view. If they're being paid to promote something, I would like to know. But I don't know. I don't know whether I care about this one when I'm watching, but I certainly do try to always tell you guys where I got it from in case you care, I guess, is my answer to this question. Question 4 confuses me. It is, have you ever bought a book with no intention of reading it? And no? Do people do this? No. I mean, sure, any OG watchers of my channel know that I have a large collection of Harry Potter books. I like to collect them in different editions, and I have the illustrated editions and like their special editions and their hardback, and now I'm collecting paperback. And so do I have plans to read every single one of those editions? Probably not. I probably don't have time for it in my lifetime. Will I stop collecting them because of that? Probably not. I own multiple copies of Sense and Sensibility, for example, because it's my crack. So if it's a special edition, I guess maybe I would buy it and not necessarily intend to read that edition, maybe. It's an odd question. I mean, I suppose there's the odd time where I have something on audiobook and I love it so much that I would like the physical edition of it, but that doesn't mean that I never intend to read that physical edition. Weird. Y'all are weird. Question 5 is, have you ever been caught up in Booktube drama? And the unequivocal answer to this is no, bitch. Your girl runs far, far away from Booktube drama. I think I have left one comment on one video, and I'm not even going to bother mentioning the video because it was such a long time ago that it's dead and I'm not resurrecting it, where I felt very strongly about one thing and I wanted to comment to that particular person and express my opinion, but I would never ever leave a rude comment or a hate comment or a you're cancelled comment or anything like that. It was a constructive comment with my opinion. And you guys know that opinions live here on my channel. I say it a lot. And not just my opinions, your opinions, because this channel is a conversation about the books that I talk about. So, have there been many opinions thrown around? Sure. But I never ever try to get involved in outright drama. I just don't have the mental capacity. I don't care. Do I think we need to keep in mind that there are very many diverse experiences on Booktube and that all of those experiences are going to come with baggage? Yes. Do I think it's healthy to have debates about our space and how we as a community discuss things? Sure. Do I think that it is at all acceptable for a massive body of the community to go after one person for their content or their opinion or their negativity? No. I value discussions. I don't like arguments. The nearest I guess I've ever come to any kind of actual drama on my channel was when I posted my widely watched terrible author experience, which I will link up here somewhere if you haven't seen it. I reviewed a book from an author about her experience. It was a memoir, it was a ghostwritten memoir, and I found it to be largely unbalanced. I didn't not enjoy it, I gave it a 3, but I was not really into the writing, and so I critiqued it. I critiqued it in a review. And the author and then the author's family, of which there are many people, came after me in bulk, and I had to get in touch with the publisher to be like, hey, do you know about this? This is not okay. And was that dramatic? Yeah, it was. And was it unpleasant? Yeah, it was. And did I have tons of anxiety? I did. In fact, the reason that I made my bad author experience video was to talk about the fact that I felt like for the longest time I couldn't say negative things about books on my channel. But I think that is the closest I have ever come to any actual drama. Because as the wonderful Jenna Marbles says, I am a 32-year-old lady, and I have fluffy children, and I have plant children, and I have book children, and I don't have time for anything else. Question 6 is, have you ever had a hate comment, and did you respond? Girl, yes! Yes! Have you seen my channel? I am very opinionated, I'm very honest, I'm very straight down the line, and I tell you exactly what I think, and I don't often sugarcoat, and I'm very sarcastically humorous about things, or at least I hope I'm humorous. I know I'm sarcastic. And I like to poke some fun at bad books sometimes, or books that I perceive to be bad if we're going to be very, very PC about it. And people get really riled up. People get really upset when they feel like you're slamming their favourite books. So yeah, I've had hate comments a lot. In fact, I've had a lot of hate comments on my video about my horrible author experience because some people didn't believe that me getting in touch with the publisher was an acceptable response to online bullying. So yeah, I've had a lot of hate comments. I mean, I've been on Booktube for over 6 years, and it's changed a lot, and the level of engagement has changed a lot, and that has meant that we are more exposed to people who might just stumble over our community and be like, what is this? I've had comments about my teeth. I've had comments about my eyebrows. For a little while I was doing drag eyebrows. I was feeling my fantasy, as they do say, and I was having fun with it, but it apparently really offended some people. So I've had comments about that. I have had comments about the fact that I don't read enough. I've had comments about I shouldn't be talking about mental health, I should only be talking about books. I've had it all. I've had the whole spectrum, and I have a few very dedicated people who seem to watch to thumbs down every video as soon as it's posted. That's okay. It's the internet. It doesn't matter. And I think there's a difference between hate comments and constructive criticism. If anybody leaves a comment on my channel and it's a constructive opinion on how I can improve, or on how I maybe have expressed something in a way that is problematic or troubling to anybody, absolutely I will read that comment. I would love to engage in discussions about how I can improve as a person, and I often do. However, outright hate comments I tend to just delete because nobody needs it. You commenting on my teeth is not a valuable criticism for me, and anybody else reading that, if they care about me, is going to be tempted to get involved, and I just, nah. I just get rid of it. This is my safe, happy, fun place, and I don't let hate comments bother me. Yeah, it's the internet. There are some real assholes out there. Not everybody is going to like you, but you know what? You don't have to like everybody else either, so. Question 7 is, have you ever made a video just because you knew it was going to get views? And my initial reaction to this when I read it a second ago was to be like, isn't that every video that every booktuber makes? But I think Harriet is probably getting at, like, have you ever jumped on a bandwagon, or have you ever talked about a certain author or a certain subject that you know that people are going to be like, yeah? And I guess, yes, in a way. At the start of the year I posted an unhaul of over 100 books, and I wasn't going to bother filming it. I had them in my study just lined up against my wall ready to go to the charity shop for about 2 months before I decided I was going to film a video about it. I had done slightly bitchy unhauls, which is what I call that series because I am slightly bitchy about most of the books that I'm getting rid of, before. I think this was my 3rd or 4th time, but because there were so many books, I was like, ugh, I can't be bothered. And what eventually swayed me was that I knew you guys would like it. I know you guys like it when I'm bitchy about books, and I knew if I actually sat down and went through that massive stack that I was going to get salty. And you guys like it when I am salty. So I did it. And you know, none of us are here because we don't want views. Question 8 is triggering me massively. Question 8 is, if you could go back to the start of your channel, would you do anything differently? And I think all of us would, because I think whenever you start talking to a camera, there is a certain period of time that it takes you to get comfortable with talking to the camera. That's certainly my experience, and it took me a really long time before I finally loosened up, I guess, and just talked to the camera like I was talking to somebody I was having lunch with or something about books. For a long time I was very kind of like, do a segment like this. Stop. Do a segment like this. Edit them together, but not seamlessly. There's a little pause in between me speaking. It's painful to remember. And I've privated a lot of my very early videos on Booktube because they were just cringe. They were so bad. And I've privated quite a few of them that got a lot of views. That they were on books that not a lot of people had done a review about, so they got lots of views, but I can't watch them without cringing. So that would be what I would do differently, but I don't think we can, because I think it takes practice and editing and recording and finding what you're comfortable talking about, because I think everybody starts out with like the same Booktube content-ish when they first start, and then they find where they want to go with it and how they want to change that to suit themselves. And I think until you've done your first few videos, your first couple of months, that you're never going to get there. I think you need the learning experience. But boy, I wish I didn't have it, because some of my videos are so bad. So bad. Question 9 is, are there any channels that you wish you could be more like? Yes, girl. Of course there are. I wish I could be more like Emma from Drinking by My Shelf, because she has so many original ideas, and I love how like cheery, breezily positive and occasionally really bitchy she is about her books. I love her commitment, not just to drinking by her shelves, but also to her games that she comes up with. I love it so much. So yeah, I wish I could be like Emma. I wish I could be as endlessly positive as Chelsea from Chelsea Dolling Reads. Like, just she's my girl. I wish I could read as much as the lovely Steph from Novelty Corner, because I'm never going to be able to read that much in a month. Not ever. I do not have the reading capacity nor the speed. I do not have the time in my week to read what she reads in a day. And obviously, Olive. And I mean, God, I could go on for such a long time. Everybody that I watch on Booktube with any kind of frequency are people that I love. Harriet and Elena and Sean and anybody that I watch on Booktube are people that I would like to emulate in some sort of way, or people whose personalities I would like to steal bits of, or people who I would like to hang out with them. I would like to just be their friends and talk to them about books. So yes, there are many channels on Booktube that I would like to be more like. And the last question on this tag I love so very much, and it is, what is something that you love about your channel? Because I feel like we all should be a little bit less negative about ourselves and a little bit less judgmental and talk ourselves up a little bit. And I know sometimes, like, sitting now and thinking, I'm thinking, God, I can think about all the things that are wrong with my channel, but what is something that I really like? And I think we can all do that to a certain extent, but you know what? We're all much better people than we give ourselves credit for. So, I have two things. The first thing is, I am really phobic about responding to comments, because I never feel like I have anything relative to say. I find it so difficult it makes my anxiety 10 times more, because I'm like, I want to give an individual experience to everybody who replies to any of my videos. And so I love that no matter how many times I say that and how many times I struggle, people still comment. People still leave, oh god, I'm getting emotional. People still leave the nicest comments, the nicest, the longest, the most detailed comments, especially to my mental health videos. I love the community on my channel, and even if I don't reply, I read everything, and sometimes on bad days it is the only thing that sustains me, and that is not me being dramatic. And I guess the second thing that I like is that people come to my channel, and a lot of the time what they say is, I came here because I wanted a straight down to earth honest opinion. I came here because I knew that you would not sugarcoat anything or smile about a book that made you want to burn it. And I really appreciate that. So that was the honest booktube tag. I didn't get quite as salty as I thought I was going to, but there's definitely going to be a lot of editing. In all seriousness, I really do love this tag. I love the questions that were in it, because I love that it's about our booktube experiences and not necessarily commenting on other people's experiences, which I think sometimes the really meta booktube or community tags are, and I get uncomfortable with those. So I liked that I could join in with this one, and now I'm going to unban myself from watching everybody else's and being very amused, because I suspect many people will have many opinions, and that makes me happy. We love opinions. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye.